What do you get when you mix a health coach and a wellness coach mixed with a lot of curiosity? You get two people who ask a lot of questions about health and wellness. Today we ask, why is omega-3 important and how do we get it?
It does seem like there is so much we're supposed to get nutritionally to have optimum health. But where do we start? Today, we do a deep dive on all things omega 3. So let's get started as we ask.
Wait, what?
Hi, Leah.
Hi. Was I supposed to? No, you're doing the things we love, right?
Yes,
Okay, good.
yes.
You just told me that before we hit record and I automatically got scared for a second. So,
No problem.
all right. How are you?
I'm great. I don't like this rain, but it's
No,
okay.
very hard rain today. I got
Mhm.
stuck in traffic for an hour just sitting, sitting, sitting. Not fun.
Ohio is wonderful in the summer, but this in between where it's just raining and kind of you don't know what's going to be.
Hmm.
Actually, this kind of relates to our weight loss journey. We don't know what it's going to be day to day. Think
No.
about
And you
it.
want the best case scenario and you want it
Yes.
perfect. And everybody's perfect is different. Like my perfect is 90,
Yes.
but my husband's
Oh,
is
no, no,
70.
no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like everybody has a different perfect definition of their weight loss journey.
I
But
agree. I
yeah,
agree.
so
Let
what?
me tell you about
All
my call
right.
to action because it's short and sweet. I didn't really do it.
Okay.
My call to action was supposed to be to get into bed by 10:30 and asleep by 11:15.
Okay.
And it's not because I didn't want to. I think this month, and I know it sounds like I'm making excuses, and I probably am. This month has been particularly busy, and I'm just finishing things late into the night.
Okay.
It's end of the month, which is always busier for us. It's we've had a lot of weddings and we have graduations and we have trips, and
Mhm.
I'm just trying to finish everything, and I'm getting in bed by 11:30.
It is May is a busy month. I don't know if you saw I posted a while ago, like I vote we change Mother's Day to a
Yeah.
less busy month.
Yes.
It's like that because there is a ton of stuff going on.
Yes. It's a ton. And I really intend to keep this on my radar. I would like to go to bed earlier. I think I do better. I have that little bit of downtime which I need instead of taking it until midnight, which is not
Mhm.
good for anybody. So I think I need to keep that on my radar.
Okay, two things I want to say. One, why are you trying to get to bed at 10:30 if your normal bedtime is midnight?
No, I don't want it to be midnight.
But right, but why not just make it 11:45?
Well, I think I need at least a good half an hour to decompress. And if
Okay.
I get into bed at 11:30, then I'm not sleeping until much later. And that I think I miss my window of sleep.
Okay.
I do fall asleep relatively quickly, but I want it to be like I have time to relax, maybe read a little, get off of my
Mm,
phone, and I'm not able to do all the things I want to do once I'm up in my room.
okay. Um, all right. The second thing is I was so weird that you bring this up because I was just going to reach out to the sleep expert we talked about a couple months ago and ask her if she would come on and talk about what happens when you get up and pee in the middle of the night and
Oh,
then you can't fall back. I wanted her to like just that. Like I don't care if it's boring to anybody else, it won't be to me. Like I want 5 techniques on what I can try because so many people say they're not drinking water because they have to get up and pee in the middle of the night and then they can't fall back asleep. And I think
yeah.
that's an excuse. I just think what we're doing is we're going to the bathroom and then we're sitting there thinking about I can't fall asleep, I can't fall asleep, I can't fall asleep. And then of course we can't fall asleep because we're thinking about it. And I think we all need to have 5 different strategies in our pillowcase that are like, okay, I'm
Oh,
going to
I
try
like
this
that.
one. I'm going to
Yeah.
try this one. And I'm going to like, I think that we're missing something.
Yeah.
Does that make
I think
sense?
I think that's a really good question because I don't think you're alone in wondering what are techniques to go back to sleep. Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you'll wake up in the middle of the night and maybe you don't have to go to the restroom, but maybe you're just too hot, or maybe you've had a
Mm-hmm.
dream or something that wakes you up, and then suddenly you're like, okay, I need to sleep, and now I'm
Mm-hmm.
awake.
Yeah. And I think she has posted many times on strategies to not do and
Mhm.
things to do to fall back asleep. And I think that it would be beneficial. So,
You know, the one thing that does help me is something that I talked about, I don't know how many episodes ago, the thing that I love, which is my eye mask.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
If I get up and it's I don't know why it's like the street lights or something, it's always relatively bright in my bedroom. I put that on and then I'm asleep. I don't know what it is. It really works for me.
Aw. Well, I think that's good.
Yeah,
I say
I like
aw
it.
because it sound I wanna see you just sleeping with your eye mask on. I bet you it's so cute.
It's not. Sometimes by the morning it's like half on, half off, but
That's
it
so cute.
works. It works for me. I'll take it.
Yeah, that's all that matters, and that's the thing, like, we all need 5 different strategies because one of them's not gonna work,
Right.
and then try number 2, and then that still might not work. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway.
I am dying to hear about your call to action.
Alright, so I have a ton to say. First, I wanna tell you I'd start with this. Last week, we talked a lot about milk and whey and dairy and casein and all of that stuff. So, we talked about ghee, right?
Which is
I
clarified butter. Yeah.
bought my butter. I first of all, let me just say I bought generic Aldi's butter. I didn't get organic. I just got regular butter because everything I read online said you're gonna ruin the first batch. And I'm like, I am not
Oh,
spending
okay.
$1 million on butter to just ruin it and then have to throw it out. So I bought
Right.
all these unsalted regular butter sticks, 4 of them. Then I was watching more videos, and it's everybody was very scary. They're like, "You gotta watch
Oh,
it because if you turn your head for 1 second, you're gonna miss the point." And I'm like, "This is so much pressure." So I found a crock pot ghee recipe.
no way.
So I'm like, "I'm gonna try it. What's gonna happen? What could be the worst possible case, right?"
Uh-huh.
So I made it. I made it on Monday, which was Sunday, which was when I celebrated Memorial Day. And you just put 4 sticks of butter in your crock pot on high for 8 hours. Now,
8 hours,
right.
really?
Now here's the thing. And this person said it. She said it depends on your crock pot. If it cooks hot, then you have to adjust it. If it cooks low, then you have to adjust the time. I don't my crock pot is fairly new, so I didn't
Hmm.
know if mine cooks hot or not. So I made it. It is a slightly nuttier than, like, the
Oh.
one that you made, so it's a little darker in color,
Hmm.
and it almost has, like, a caramely scent to it more than
Hmm.
yours did. So if I was going to do it again, I would do it at 6 hours.
Yeah.
But it does all of the bottom gets the whey is separated and it goes to the bottom. I
Hmm.
poured it into my little cheesecloth or I just used a towel. And it's very I dipped bread in it when it was still hot. It was delicious.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds so
It
good.
doesn't look as pretty as yours because yours was this beautiful yellow pale color and mine looks like brown kinda,
Yeah.
but it
That's
tastes
it's
delicious.
that's the thing with ghee is I think I told you that it takes a minute before it's like perfect to dark.
Mhm.
And it still tastes fine. You can know when it's burnt. It won't taste
It's
good.
definitely
It's
not burnt,
yeah.
mine. It just isn't as light as yours. I don't know if that makes sense.
Hmm. It's
But
just
I
because it was eight
will
hours.
yeah,
I
I
like
will
that you can
ch
do it in the crock pot because you don't have
yep,
to watch it.
I would totally do 6 next time.
Awesome. I'm
Mhm.
so wow. That's so
But
good.
my crock pot is new, so
Okay.
maybe that's why. If you have an old crock pot, it might take 8 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm so impressed that you did it in the crock pot. I can't get over
I
that.
did, I did. I was so proud of myself too.
Wow.
So, also, can I backtrack for a minute before I get into my call to action?
Of course.
You mentioned in passing that this is a very busy time for you and I. I
Hmm.
don't know if everybody knows that at the end of every month, what we do,
Oh no, probably not.
right? So
Yes.
is it a secret?
No, it's not a secret. Why don't you
Okay.
share?
So if you are a call to action member, Kamna and I write down or we compile a recap of everything that you have accomplished this month and we read it to you and we read it to your call to action group. And it's beautiful and it's goosebumpy and it's just amazing. The last week of the month is just, don't you agree?
I agree. When you revisit when I look back through my notes and I see the things that people have done, and what they have accomplished and what they set out to do and how they adapted or altered it and how they figured out things about themselves. I'm just, and to see the progress,
Mhm.
it's mind blowing, honestly.
It's our favorite week of the month, but it does require work for you and I to take all of
Yes.
our notes and go back and then write them all out and, but it's so worth it.
The other thing that we work on the last week of the month is our weigh-in call has a weigh-in group has
Oh.
a Zoom call, which we prepare our, as you call it, trash, which is
Mhm.
like foods that we love, and we keep the packaging and show everybody why we love it. We share a recipe. So that for me, finding the things takes a little bit of work.
Mhm.
I'm like, is this good? And then if I don't like it, I'm like, I can't share it.
You
Then I have to
should
get
share it though. Share it because
really?
then you don't like it. I think
Oh,
so.
oh, okay. All right. Well,
Don't you think?
that makes it easier for
Because then I'm
sure.
like, oh, good, I've seen that, but I don't, because some of the stuff is expensive and I don't want to
Right.
spend $8 on something if you're like, it really wasn't worth that,
Right. Right.
So might be good to share too. So,
Yeah.
but
So
those are
those,
both really good support systems that I think are helpful.
I think so too.
So, all right, real quick, I will catch you up on my revelation maybe next week or something. But my
Oh,
call to action,
oh,
oh, well,
you're gonna leave us hanging.
maybe. So, two things. My call to action was twofold, I believe, which one was to make the ghee, which I did.
Okay.
Well, actually, three. I was working on my protein and my fiber, which I'm still working on that. June 1st is right around the corner, and I'm not quite ready, but I'm going to have to just
Wait, what
jump
are we
in.
doing
And
June 1st? Make sure.
June 1st is you and I are going to be posting, blogging, whatever you want to call it, every other day, our protein and fiber and calorie goal. And we're going to try and hit my number is 92 for protein and 25 for fiber. What is yours?
Mine is, I think, 82 for protein, and I'm gonna aim for 20 to 25 for fiber, but I usually hit it anyway. So,
Okay. And it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge, I think, for
mhm.
me anyway. I can't speak for you.
I did see an article today. Have to see if I can post it on our Facebook page about um m- 7 days of menus for increasing fiber.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna try to post that on our Facebook page.
Increasing fiber. I like that one.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, lastly, it was to exercise more.
Okay.
All right, so here's what I did. I made a list of my excuses.
Oh, I like this so
Here's some of
much.
them. I'm gonna read you just some of them. I don't have time, which is a lie, but that was number one. Number two is I have to load the dishwasher. Not joking. These are all things I
Okay.
have said. Because most of you know I need to exercise in the morning. I won't exercise in the afternoon. It won't happen. It's
Okay.
not going to happen. If I do exercise in the afternoon, it's a bonus. It's because it was nice and I went for a walk. But other
Mhm.
than that, so I've literally said I have to load the dishwasher. I've literally said I have to switch the laundry or else when I get home it'll smell. You know that smell when it's
Yeah, yeah,
wet
yeah.
and yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
yes.
All right. I have to do my hair. I won't have time to do my makeup.
Okay.
Okay. I have to check my email.
Okay.
I have to make a lunch for myself. I have to make a lunch for my kids. I have to
Right.
make sure the kids get ready. I have to feed the dog. These are all things that I have literally, they're in my phone. I've been writing them down all week. And I took them one at a time and I went through them and I went through them each and every one. And I'm like, is this a fact or an excuse?
Oh, wow.
I really thought about this because it's important to me to exercise, but I hate it. And if
Mhm.
I swore a lot on this podcast, I would say the F word because that's how much I hate it. I don't enjoy it. I don't like the way I feel after it. I don't like any part of it. I want to make that very clear, but it is important to me that I do it. So I have to do it.
Yeah. I understand that.
I have to make myself like there's and I don't want anybody to say there's something out there that I am going to enjoy. At this point in my life, there's not. Maybe in the future when I have more time, I will love drum fit. maybe in the future when I have time, I will enjoy going for a walk. I am not there. It's
I
not
think you are
enjoyable.
saying something really, really important right now.
What is that?
I think because your life is a little chaotic, because you have two teenagers, you have a job, you have stuff to do, you have a house to take care of, you have
Hmm.
and obviously social obligations. You have a lot of stuff on your plate. So when you have like a break, the last thing you want to do is more quote work.
Work.
Yeah.
Yes. Hmm.
So it's not even at all appealing to you.
No, and anybody who does exercise and enjoy it, I really want to really dig in and say, have you always?
Mhm.
Is it because you have more time than I do right now? Like what is it about it? Because I haven't found it yet.
I think for me, and I can only speak for myself, the reason I like exercise is because I'm a little competitive, even with myself.
Okay.
So if, for example, on the Peloton, they tell you your record, like your
Hmm.
personal record, your best, I'm always trying to beat myself, which I'm not doing lately. But so I'm competitive even with myself. If someone challenged me to wall squats, I'd be like, let's go.
Okay,
Or
so you want
even,
that part.
yeah, I
Okay.
like it.
Well, I think you have to find it, and I haven't found mine yet.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I answered all those questions in depth, and I was like, it literally takes me 5 minutes at the most to put my makeup on. I mean, not much longer. To feed my dog, it's probably one solid full minute, like a whole minute. I really went through, and even if I do have to switch the laundry, it really doesn't take me a half an hour. It's
Mhm.
again, maybe 10 minutes. I went through and justified the time. And then I found a time that would work. And I said to myself, no matter what, at 5:30 a.m., even if it's only 10 minutes, even if it's 15, even if it's 20 minutes, because I can walk around the block, I have to do something at that time.
Right. I excuse me. I like this for you because you really, really, really dug deep. And that's something that most people don't do is to figure
Well,
out why you're resisting it, why it's difficult for you. And yeah, people
mhm,
can have a million suggestions. Try this, try that. But the thing
mhm,
is, there's a reason why it's not appealing to you or you're not wanting to really go out and do it. You have to really
mhm,
work at it. I like that
mhm.
you put this work into it.
Mhm. I'm not exaggerating. I have always hated it. I don't think I was a kid that even liked exercise.
Hmm.
I don't. I rode my
Yeah.
bike just to ride my bike because my mom would made us play outside. I don't think I necessarily was like, I can't wait to go ride my bike. Like
Really?
I don't think I ever enjoyed it. I don't play sports. I don't enjoy sports. You know what I mean? So I get
Yeah.
that I think that I can't be the only one, I guess is what I'm saying.
Oh, no, you're not the only one.
Right? But
Absolutely.
anybody you talk to is like, you just haven't found something you like yet.
Yeah, I don't think it's that. I think is if you found some reason to like it, it wouldn't matter what you did, you would find the thing you liked.
Right. Anyway, so by the way, let me just back up and say there are plenty of things I have to make myself do because I don't want anybody saying you shouldn't have to make yourself do something. Yes, I do. I have to make myself clean toilets in this house. I have to make myself do that. I don't, like
You
there
have
are
to pay
things
taxes.
I have to make dinner. I have to. I
Yeah.
hate it, but I have to do it. So like
Mhm.
I just looked at it as like I have to do this.
Yes,
I
I
have to
agree.
do it. I have to do it.
And
Period.
what I have realized over many years is people who, even fitness instructors and people who are trainers, even they have those days where they're like, I don't want to work out. I don't
Mhm.
feel like it. It's so much work. So everybody has that thing where they're like, I just got to put the effort into the mechanics of I have to go to the place and I have to do the workout and I have to
Mhm.
get on the machine or pick up the weights. It's the mechanics of making yourself do it.
Mhm.
And it's fine when you're doing it, but it's the getting to it process. And even seasoned exercisers have trouble with this.
Yes. I that makes me feel good because I I don't know, but I just know that I had to really think about it with myself and say is this important to me? And
Mhm.
it really is. And I'm not just saying it's important. Like, I know it's important. I know it's important for so
Right.
many different levels and so many different reasons. Now, Dr. Kenny said it needs to be 30 minutes, or not needs to, but he recommends. I'm not there yet. I'm
Yeah.
just saying at 5:30 every morning, I will do something. Maybe it's weights because I only have 10 minutes, or maybe it's a video that I've been posting that I'm doing videos. Or my ultimate goal is to go for a walk outside.
Right.
But I know my other excuse, which I wrote down, is it's raining, it's cold,
Right.
it's
Right.
windy, it's snowy, it's icy. You name a weather condition, I'm putting it in there.
Mhm.
So I have to plan for that too.
Yeah.
Also, one other thing. I don't mean this whole episode to be about me. I apologize. But I think it's important to give updates. Everybody knows that I'm a big brain dumper and I love writing every single morning. But for the past like month, not May, in April, I would say in April, I found that I wasn't doing it every day. And it was
Okay.
really bothering me, really bothering me. And I would say, you know what, I'm going to do it tonight before I get in the shower, or I'm going to do it later tonight, or whatever. I was just saying, I don't have time right now. I'm going to do it later. And the reality is, for some reason, I write two things every morning. I write a note to my daughter every
Mhm.
morning, and then I write my brain dump. I was, I don't know why, and I don't know if there was a block there, but what I started doing was doing my note first and then my daughter's. So I think what I was essentially doing was saying, I'm not that important, but my daughter is.
Oh, makes
And
sense.
then I was making sure I got her note done. And then I was like, I got a million more things to do. I'll just do mine later. And I have to remember that I am important too, because if I'm not taking care of my own mental health, I can't take care of them. So for the month of May, I made a point to do my note first and then do hers, because I'm going to do hers. I
This
know it.
actually goes to a deeper point, which I think other people might relate to, is during the month of April, I would say your mental health was not at optimum. Is that fair?
Probably. That's very
Yeah.
true.
You were kind of beating yourself up. You're going through some stuff. You weren't doing well.
Right.
And if you look at that in isolation, like, I don't know what's different, all the stress is kind of the same. Why is it worse now? And if you're not investing in the time in yourself to do the things that help you mentally, physically, emotionally,
Mm.
spiritually, if you're not investing that time and you're like, I don't know what's different, maybe you really need to dig deep and say, what did I change? What did I do differently, or what am I not doing that helps me?
That's a great point. I didn't put connect those dots. I did have a very tough time in April, mental
Yeah,
health wise, and I didn't journal as much as I always do. And I wonder, I mean, that wasn't the whole piece, the whole puzzle, but it's probably a big chunk of it that I just now realize that I need that more than I realize.
absolutely. You know, when we all have the things, my kids will often say to me, if I'm in a particularly anxious place, they're like, did you work out today? Did you take a walk today? Because they know for
Mm.
me, that's a necessity.
Mhm.
I have to for my mental health, which sounds weird, but I've said it so many times here.
Which I must need to journal for my mental health,
Yes.
or
And
part of it.
we all have our own things. And if you're suddenly not doing something and you feel the pinch of it, you have to say, well, maybe that was an important part of my day.
Hmm. Well, I'm glad I shared that because I didn't connect those dots until you said it, and I'm like, yeah, that's true. I wasn't.
But I think a lot of people do this. They're like, oh, I don't have time for this, or it's not that important. But maybe it really is more important than we realize.
Mhm. It's a good point. Great point. And I don't write anything earth-shattering, by the way.
Mhm.
It's never like deep, dark secrets or thoughts. It's dumb stuff like, I need a new bathing suit. Oh, I don't want to get a new bathing suit. That means I have to try them on. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm. I
Anyway.
think when I went to New York, I was at this conference, and one of the things that I learned, which I think we've talked also about this, is that the morning routine is so important to set up your day. And even if you're writing things like there's too much trash in the house, or I need to
Mhm.
clean, or whatever you're making a list of or talking about, that's part of your routine to clear the junk in your head.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe for some people, it's having their cup of coffee and just like doing some breathing, or some people do
Mm-hmm.
meditation, some people work out, some people, whatever your routine is, it's such a critical part of setting up your day for success.
Very true. More than I thought more than I even realized, I guess.
Mhm.
So anyway, I
Well,
talked a
thank you
lot,
for
so
thanks
I'm
for sharing
sorry.
all. No, I think that's so important, and I think other people are going to be able to relate to
I
this.
feel
I
like I
do.
had a lot of growth this week, and I hope it's not just a fluke. I hope it's more like a, all right, we're gonna do it. We're gonna stick to it. We're gonna keep it going. The weight isn't budging. I'll just say that. The weight is not moving, but I feel like maybe I'm in the right direction.
I am with you on this point, and I think it's like ebbs and flows. You have growth and understanding, and then you have a little pit, and then you have another wave of, oh, I'm doing great. And then you have another little low. And I think that's just the way our process goes.
Mm-hmm.
My weight has been creeping up, and I'm like, I'm hitting a number that I don't like anymore. I got to
Mm-hmm.
really crack down. For me, it's not okay.
Mm-hmm. But we also got to work on our mental health too. So it's that fine balance. Like there's my physical body and my mental part, and I'm working on one right now.
Well, that's the problem. There's so many things to take care of at all times, so much to know, so much to eat, so much to do, so much to, you're like, I'm tired. I'm
I
just so
know.
tired.
Wait, that's a great segue into this topic because I texted
Yes.
you last night on this topic and I was like, I don't understand it. I
Mhm.
could not understand. I Googled fatty acid for dummies, omega-3 for dummies, explain it like you would a toddler. Like probably the part of it was I was in bed and that's never a good time for me to try to learn something. But it was
Yeah, when
so,
I
so
when I got that
confusing.
text at 7:30, I'm like, she must be really worried about this.
It was so confusing. Anyway, where do you want to start with this omega-3 topic?
Well, let's just start with the basics, which is, what is an
Okay.
omega-3?
Okay.
What
It
did you
is
find?
a fatty acid found in foods
Mm-hmm.
such as fish and flaxseed. Just
Yes.
that's a small amount. Okay. Um, we could go deeper because what I did was I went, okay, well, that's a great definition, but what the heck's a fatty acid? And
Uh-huh.
that's when I was like, forget it. I'm just not smart. I can't comprehend this. So I ignored it and then went into the three types of omega-3s.
Oh, okay.
What
Well,
about
I
you?
mean, I think on a high level, omega-3s provide calories to give your body energy and have many functions in your heart, blood vessels, lungs, immune system, and endocrine system.
Okay.
With the endocrine system helps with your hormones. So I think at a basic level, without, I'm not a scientist and I'm not a science person. It's the type of chemical bond it has makes it an omega-3 versus an omega-6 or an omega-9. It's the chains that are connecting the molecules together, if I understand it
Okay.
correctly.
Okay. I did read, I hope you're, by the way, I would like everybody to know I know this was the first time I've ever researched this topic too. I
Same.
don't want to be an expert. I can't be. But I did find it interesting because I did read that your body can't produce enough omega and that's why you need it.
Yes.
It just can't produce enough to keep your body where it needs to be.
It can't produce enough omega-3. It
Right. That's
can
what I meant. Sorry.
produce enough omega-9 and omega-6. Usually we get enough in our food, but that we'll talk
Which
about in a minute.
let's side note that, put a
Oh,
pin in
okay.
this and say I didn't even know there was a 6 or a 9.
Okay.
And I just learned that at 44 years old that there's a such thing as an omega 6 and an omega 9.
Hmm.
Had no idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on.
Do you want to start with, how do you know if you don't have enough, or do you want to start with the benefits?
Um, well, can I start with this first?
Yes.
The three types because
Oh,
I didn't
yes.
even know there were three types.
Yes.
There's the DHA and the EPA. And
Hmm.
those are the two types of omega-3s that are found in seafood and fish. And then there's
Hmm.
the ALA, and those are found in plants. But I got to ask you this. When you were pregnant, did they make DHA something that was like super important to you?
No, okay, you're gonna laugh at me. But when I was
No.
pregnant, I couldn't take a multivitamin, the prenatal vitamins.
Yeah.
it was too big for me and I used to gag. So
Okay.
I used to take Flintstone vitamins.
Love them. They're delicious. Go.
That's what I would
And that
take.
was that was enough for you?
Yeah. And I must have eaten like I don't actually remember. It's
Oh,
28 years ago, but I must have eaten pretty well because my kids are all lovely and beautiful. So I
I'm gonna
don't
go
know.
buy my Flintstones. Well, I just remembered when I was pregnant, they made a huge thing about DHA and it was so important. And I didn't think about it. I just said, okay, it's important. I'll take it. I didn't realize that it was not vegan at the time. Like, I guess if I was vegan, I would have made more attention to it, but I just
Yeah.
never connected those dots. Like that
Yep.
DHA is not going to be vegan. If you're looking for omega-3 and you're getting a DHA or an EPA, it will be a fish source.
Right.
Didn't know that.
Right. And I didn't even research the first two because I'm like, they're not relevant to me at all.
Yes.
So,
So, and I did research those. So you covered the ALA and I did the DHA and the EPA. Anyway, all right. So now
by
let's
the
say,
way, wait, I
yeah.
have to interrupt you for a second. I realized I forgot to share what I love. So I'm going to do it at the end. So
Oh,
please remind me to do it at the end of
oh
the
boy.
episode.
All right. I'm going to make a note right here to
We
remind
just
you.
got so into talking that I
That was my
forgot.
fault. I'm
No, no,
sorry.
no, no, no. I just want to make sure I get to it at the end.
All right. All right. So tell me, how do I know if I need omega-3?
Okay. So what I was finding was if how do you know if you're low? And these things that I'm going to describe are true for a lot of things. Like if you have thyroid issues or if you have other, I don't know, other things. Dry skin,
Okay.
irritated skin, inflammation, which is I think a big one for omega-3,
Okay.
hair thinning and loss, depression, dry eyes, joint pain, and stiffness.
Hmm. I had a couple more.
Oh, okay.
Um, Deficit in your concentration level.
Yes.
Um, the same as you did, fatigue, trouble sleeping, excessive earwax.
I did not know that.
I did not know that one either. And then increased allergy symptoms.
Okay.
So those are some another other ones that we can add to that as well.
From whatever we read, what I understood is that omega-3 helps reduce inflammation. And
Mhm,
if you think about where inflammation can show up in the body, it's all over the place. It could
mhm.
be allergies, it could be uh, blood
Your
pressure, it
scalp.
could be scalp, it could be cardiac issues, it could be any number of things where inflammation can hit your body. And it's inflammation is not like, oh, I'm only going to go to the knee joint and I'm only going to
Right,
stay here. It goes
right,
everywhere.
right.
So
And yeah. Huh.
it's just,
I never
I
thought of
thought,
that.
yeah, I was like, that makes a lot of sense to me.
So omega-3 can reduce inflammation.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And that also impacts the thing that we were talking about with mental health, that it can help with anxiety and depression. If
Mhm,
you're not getting enough and you're like, nothing's wrong with me, but I don't feel right. I feel emotional. I feel
mhm,
like in a more severe way.
mhm,
Maybe you need to look at, are you getting enough nutrients?
mhm. So I also want to say that neither of you are recommending anybody go out and go buy a whole bunch of omega-3 vitamins today. Not
No,
saying that.
no, no,
We're
no.
more interested in what foods have it so that maybe you can add some of those into
Hmm.
your diet versus
Yeah.
going to buy something to add. But
I was also looking up what depletes omega-3 in your body. And I thought this was
okay.
interesting. Excessive consumption of omega-6 fatty acids. And I'll tell you about that in a minute.
I read that. I read that too. Yes. Okay, go on.
Smoking,
Okay.
excessive alcohol intake,
Okay.
certain medical conditions, and aging can deplete omega-3 levels.
Oh, aging.
So,
Just
I mean,
getting older is depleting it.
yeah, it makes sense though, because when you're young, you're like, I feel great. I can do all these things and I feel
Yeah.
great and there's no issue. But as you age, I think a lot of these minerals get depleted in your body. And it's,
Faster.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So where do you want me to start with the fish?
I quickly want to run through what the benefits are.
Okay.
And then let's get into the fish and the vegetables.
Okay.
Um, so this is a long list. I'm going to try to read through it relatively quickly. Okay.
Okay.
The benefits of having enough omega-3 is it may improve your eye health, and deficiency has been linked to the risk of macular degeneration, which
Oh,
is a leading cause of blindness.
okay.
It could promote brain health during pregnancy and early life, which is what you were talking about with the vitamins.
Okay.
It may improve risk factors for heart disease, lowering your triglycerides and increasing your HDL, which is the good cholesterol.
Hmm.
It may reduce symptoms of ADHD in children. It could reduce symptoms of metabolic syndrome and help lower blood sugar. So, if you're pre-diabetic or diabetic, you may look at having more omega-3 in your diet. It
Hmm.
may reduce inflammation. It might benefit autoimmune diseases, and it's been linked to a lower risk of type 1 diabetes associated autoimmunity. Type 1 is the kind you're born with, typically,
Okay.
and it can lower the risk of that. It may help prevent age-related mental decline and Alzheimer's disease.
That's fascinating to me.
And
I saw that and several links that I was reading, it said the same thing. Like really, really, the studies are really showing that that is something that's really helpful is
mhm,
the omega-3s when it comes to Alzheimer's and dementia.
yes, which
Yeah.
I'm if that for that reason alone, I'm gonna make
Yeah.
sure I have enough.
I know. And I did read, and even Dr. Kenny said this when he was on. He said that the studies are very mismatched when it comes
Right.
to lowering your triglycerides. But I will say that I was on the Mayo Clinic's website, and their latest study says it significantly reduces your the triglycerides. So that is not a confirmation, but everything I read said it does help with Alzheimer's and
Because that's
dementia.
linked to inflammation.
That's
There's a couple
nuts.
more which I think are really going to be relevant to some people. If you've been diagnosed with fatty liver, you may want to
Okay.
check your omega-3 levels because it may help reduce fat in your liver. And
Really?
that's a problem now in our modern world with the diet that we have, a lot of processed foods.
Mhm.
It's going to impact your liver. It may improve bone and joint health. So if you have knee pain, if you have arthritis, if you have any kind of pain like that, you might want to look at your omega-3s.
Hmm.
It may help alleviate menstrual pain.
I saw that. I didn't write why didn't I write that down? Oh, I wrote it down in the deficiency. Yes, it because it if you have bad menstrual periods, that it does say
Yeah,
that too. Yeah. That's crazy.
it is crazy. And it could support skin health. So I think the big takeaway in reading this list to me is it impacts so many functions in our body, even
Mhm.
if there's not a definitive study saying do this or do that. But if it can lower inflammation and we can eat it, why not?
Right. That's the thing is if we can eat it, why not?
Yeah, we don't have to have a supplement or take, lots of this or
Mm-mm.
that.
No. No, and a lot of it is it's not even like something we need every day. Like the fish we could have 2 times a week and you're
Oh
going to
yeah.
get the omega-3 or that you need. I don't like fish, not going to eat fish. It's not something that I even want to try,
Mhm.
but it's a great source of the DHA and the EPA.
Do you eat any fish?
None. I don't eat anything that swims.
Okay. Oh,
There's no
interesting.
reason. No reason.
Oh,
I
okay.
wish I could say it's religion or ethic or anything. It's just I don't like it. It doesn't taste good to me.
Okay. So you've had it.
Don't like
Okay.
it. So
All right.
anyway, but I did do research on it, so I will share this with you. Mackerel. Mackerel. Am I saying that fish right?
Mackerel? I don't know.
That's probably it. That is the highest amount of
Omega
omega-3s
3.
out of
Wow.
all the fish, a mackerel, however you say that. Now, there's mackerel and then there's a king mackerel.
Oh,
The king mackerel has the highest level of mercury out of your fish. So
oh.
that's where fish gets a bad rap because a lot of fish has high levels of mercury. So
hmm
if you are going to eat mackerel, however you pronounce it, try not to get the king mackerel. Okay.
Okay.
Also, side note, it's about 2 grams in a 3-ounce serving. You really only need 3
Okay.
grams 2 times a week, so 6 total.
Okay.
So if you have it twice, you're pretty close. Now,
Hmm.
here's the thing. The fish is a great source of omega-3s, but not that much. Let me tell you this. Salmon, farm, 0.7 grams.
So salmon has 0.7 grams.
1.7
1.7. Okay.
in a 3-ounce. You would wanna make sure you're at least eating probably 6 ounces, I would assume,
Hmm.
in a serving. I don't know. Herring, anchovies, they come in at 1.3, 1.2, and then the wild salmon is 1.2 as well.
Okay.
And then from there, it's your whitefish, your tuna, your halibut, your sardines, your bluefish, your striped bass. All of those are low on the omega-3 list.
Oh,
They're
okay.
still better. I mean, there's still omega-3 in them, but we're
Hmm.
talking like not even a full gram.
Okay. So
So
you'd have
it's
to eat a
kind of
lot.
sad. You'd have to eat. Now that's for 3-ounce serving. So you would for sure want to make sure you're eating probably a 6-ounce serving of it.
Hmm.
And then you'd have to decide if that's worth it for you. You know what
Okay.
I mean?
Or could you
Then
eat a little bit every day?
maybe, but they're really saying you should not have more than 6 grams of from fish source in a week.
Okay. Wow.
I know. So it's important, but it's that fine line of how much to have. You know what I mean?
And go ahead.
Also, the highest fish with mercury, the king mackerel, marlin, orange roughy, shark, swordfish, perch, and striped bass have the highest level of mercury. And if you're pregnant or under the age of 11, it's recommended that you never eat them. Never.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yes. But I didn't know if you're under the age of 11, we should not be eating those.
I guess that makes sense.
I guess. Right?
Yeah, and you can get too much of a good thing with omega-3.
Yeah.
If you have too much, it may cause like bleeding issues. So
So
you
you
just
don't
have,
wanna eat it. So I guess really what we should probably be doing is incorporating it like once or twice a week,
mhm,
right? Like
yeah.
if you're gonna eat fish or whatever you're having, like once or twice a week. I did go down a little bit of a rabbit hole on the difference between wild salmon and farm raised salmon. And
Okay.
I went down a rabbit hole of like your shrimp, your crab, your lobster. Because anytime anybody talks about omega-3s, they never mention your those type of fish, like
Mhm.
crab legs or shrimp or and the reason for that is because they have like zero point 0.4 grams and 0.2 grams of omega-3s per
Oh,
serving. And it's so tiny that
mhm.
it's, I guess, not a good bang for your buck.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's sad because those are the ones most people that I know love is their crab
Yeah.
legs or their shrimp or their, you know what I mean? Or their
Well, I
scallops,
guess
these
the point
types.
really is there is some value in having them because they have some
Mhm.
omega-3 anyway. So
Mhm.
it's good. You're not missing out. You're still getting some.
You're still getting something, but zero point 0.4 grams in 3 ounces of crab,
Okay.
which I from the people I know that eat crab legs, they eat probably 2 pounds. So,
Oh,
you're probably
okay.
getting way more than you need in
Okay.
your of your omegas if you're eating that once a week.
I will
Alright,
have
real
to take your word for it.
you take my word for it. Real quick, wild salmon has less omega-3s than farm raised salmon because they pump it with stuff to give it more omega-3s. It's contaminated more.
Oh.
So keep that in mind. So wild salmon has less contaminants, but it also has less DHA or yeah, DHA and omega-3s or whatever. So that's the difference. Farm raised is a milder taste and it's more tender texture. So people actually prefer the farm raised as opposed to the wild. Farmed raised is a light pink. So if you are seeing things that are light pink, that's going to be your farmed raised. And it
Mhm.
has marbling. And I didn't know this. The reason it has marbling is because those fish don't need to swim against a current, so they're not getting exercise to burn that fat.
So they're fattier.
Yes.
Oh,
And then wild is reddish, orange, and there's hardly any marbling in it.
wow.
Another fun fact, I thought this was interesting. Fish farming is illegal in Alaska. So if you ever see any type of fish that says Alaskan caught, you can bet that it is not farm raised and it will be of a better quality fish if it says Alaskan caught.
Okay. Okay.
Just thought that was interesting.
Yeah. I'll probably forget that really quick, but it's
Well,
good to
yeah,
know.
but it's not something that's important for you. But for people that eat fish,
It is important to know. I think, and to know the difference. What is the big deal about Alaskan cod? Now you know. It's better for
hmm
you.
hmm and I didn't know it was illegal to farm it in Alaska.
I
So
didn't
there
either,
you go.
honestly.
There you go. So don't go breaking the law in Alaska. All right. What did you find out about the plant based? Because that is
Okay.
something that I can help with or more likely to do because I won't eat fish.
So ALA is the omega-3 that's found in plants. So that's the
Okay.
one that I focused on because I'm not eating fish ever.
Okay.
Um, here are the sources of omega-3 in plant sources. Algae oil, anything like related to the sea. So algae oil, seaweed, nori, which is the things that you use, the seaweed, the wrappers.
Oh, that they wrap sushi in?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
nori.
Okay.
Any of those things that are sea related are high in omega-3.
Okay.
This is not one I'm going to recommend, but it's on the list. Okay.
Okay.
Canola oil,
Mm,
chia seeds. Chia seeds are good. Edamame. And
okay.
both of those are high in protein and fiber as well. Flaxseed oil, which I've never really used, so I don't know much about that. Also, another one I will not recommend, but it's on the list is soybean oil.
Okay.
Walnuts. Did you know that?
Really? They have oh, somebody did tell me that because it looks like a brain
Yeah.
to associate that with brain health and omegas.
Yes.
Hmm.
Hemp seeds. You
Okay,
ate that
that's
recently, didn't
I
you?
have recently I really have a problem with healthy food being sold in giant packages. Like just sell me the size of a salt shaker. Please, somebody out there listening, do this for me. And they
Hmm.
don't. But yes, I've been putting it when I get an acai bowl. I get hemp seeds on it.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I think it's great. It's perfectly fine. I don't mind it
Mm.
at all.
Flax seeds. Do you use flax seeds at all?
My experience with flax seeds is it's always tasted a little dirty, like dirt, like I'm licking dirt.
Oh, okay.
So I haven't experimented enough with it.
I have made cakes where I soak the flax seeds a certain amount. I can't tell right now, I don't remember, but you soak them in really hot water and then you grind it and then you use that as an egg substitute. So if someone cannot eat eggs, you can use flaxseed as an egg replacer.
Oh my gosh, I saw that. I saw flaxseed egg replacer, ground flaxseed, and underneath it said egg replacement.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't understand that at all. But
It
okay, so
works.
it works as like an egg white or just an egg in general.
Egg in general.
Which, by
It
the way,
doesn't.
eggs are do have omega-3 in it. I just wanted to say that real quick.
It doesn't
But
have
go
the
on.
same texture as an egg, obviously with the cake. But
Yeah.
if you're looking for a substitute, or if you have an egg allergy, or whatever reason you're not eating eggs, that would
Mm,
be a good option. And plus, it's good
mhm.
omega-3. Kidney beans.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Did not know that. Okay.
Wheat germ.
I don't know what wheat germ is. I know my mom's talked about it before, but I don't know what it is.
I don't know really, but I think it's like the husk of the wheat, maybe.
Okay.
Um, so anyway, I don't know. I don't want to
Okay.
pretend I
Okay.
know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Soybean products such as tofu, and we talked about the edamame. So
Okay.
and the tofu, I would say just make sure it's like an organic and it's a clean source because generally tofu tends to be heavily contaminated with pesticides.
Mm,
So just look for an organic one. But I mean,
I
there's
did
a
not
lot
know
of
that.
things in plant foods, and I'm sure that's not even a complete list.
Right, right. So I guess you can find omega-3s in your food.
Hmm.
We just have to look for it.
And if something is fortified with omega-3,
Hmm.
I do think we need to talk briefly about omega-6. What's the difference between omega-6 and omega-3?
Okay. I don't know. So good. This is good because I didn't even know there was one. And then I saw that it does cause inflammation.
Hmm.
All right.
So we need omega-3, omega-6, and omega-9. And omega-3, we generally need supplementation from our food or supplements. And
Okay.
if you need a supplement, I would say go talk to somebody who knows about supplements and your specific situation.
Okay.
Omega-6 is something we need also, typically in a 1-to-1 ratio with omega-3. But the problem is with the modern American diet, we're at a 15-to-1 ratio.
So we
Of
have 15 grams of omega-6
15
compared.
times, 15 times the amount of omega-6 compared to like one percentage of the omega-3.
Wow. Is that why we're all inflamed humans walking around this
Yes.
planet?
Yes. Um, the omega-6 is present in vegetable oils and food cooked in vegetable oils.
Okay.
So if you think a lot about our processed foods, they are very high in omega-6.
Okay.
And it's it can actually be really detrimental for us to have too much omega-6. It can lead to more inflammation and more joint pain. So if you think I'm taking omega, what's the problem? You have to see which kind are you taking.
Okay. Okay. So what else is it? Omega-6.
What do you mean?
Like where else, what else could I be eating that has omega-6 in it?
Anything that really is a processed food is going to be higher
Okay.
in omega-6. And especially with those processed oils, the
Yeah.
seed oils, they're all going to be
And they're
very
not
high.
promoting that. They're not like high in omega-6s because they probably know that we won't buy them.
Well, they might and try to mislead you that it's good
Ooh,
for
that's true
you.
too.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I know I don't even know if you looked it up, but what is the omega-9?
I did not really look it up, but
Okay.
it is something we typically get in our food. I didn't actually really go down that road, but so sorry about that.
No, that's okay. I just was curious. And maybe that's something I know that omega-9s are in avocado, cashew nuts, and peanut oil.
Hmm.
So maybe it's a better for you, but we'd have to look at that some more.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
I think the encouraging thing for me is that we can do this all through our food. We don't
Hmm.
typically we won't need supplementation unless you're extremely low. But we
Hmm.
should be able to add these things to our diet. Like if you make a salad and you add some flaxseed and some hemp seeds and some chia seeds, you're
Hmm.
good to go. And
Oh,
you
also the ALA omega-3s, which are the plant-based, women need 1.1 grams. Did you find that
Mhm.
out? Yeah. And men need 1.6. So
Yes.
it's not like how protein we need 92 grams. It's not a ton. And it
Right.
might be something where you can add some chia seeds and some hemp seeds to your salad or your yogurt and get that in the morning and get those omega-3s in.
Right. I wanted to tell you quickly, I just did a real-time
Fact check.
search. Yes. For the omega-9. It
Okay.
may help reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease and stroke. It's benefits the heart, brain, and overall well-being when consumed and produced in moderation.
Okay.
So
So
this is one of those things we don't want in overload.
okay. So omega-3, we don't want any of the omegas in overload,
No, no, no,
but we
no.
want to make sure we have some.
Yes.
Oh, there's so much to know about our health and our bodies,
Mhm.
right?
But actually, if you come back down to it, the list for most things are all the same. If you look at fiber or
True.
protein, or you're going to see avocado,
Just
you're
don't
going to
eat out
see,
of a box
yes,
or a package.
yes,
That's what it boils down to.
unless you know what the ingredients are inside.
Yeah, we shouldn't be buying Oreo cookies.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
all right, so tell me what your thing is that you're in love with this
Yeah.
week.
Quickly, I just wanted to share, and sorry for being out of order, but
I
here
know
it is. We're a little bit all over the place today. Okay, so this is called rosemary mint scalp and hair strengthening oil. So it looks like this if you're watching.
a little dropper bottle.
The brand is called Miel. I think that's how you say it. I originally ordered this on Amazon, but I saw it in Sally's beauty store. And what this has been touted for is scalp health and stimulating hair growth. So
Oh,
as we age, I don't know about you, but I'm starting to develop some bald spots. You're
okay.
still a little young, you won't know. But massaging this into your scalp, you can use it daily or you can use it a couple of times a week. I do it before I wash my hair because it smells a little bit like rosemary
Wait,
to
you do
me.
it immediately before you wash your hair, or like
No, I
morning and then wash your hair at night, or
I put it on and then I go do my things during the day. And then whenever I take a
okay,
shower, I just wash it out. Like if I'm
okay,
working out or whatever, you could probably sleep with it, but a few hours is more than enough. So it's a
okay.
dropper bottle. So you don't need a lot. You take the dropper bottle and you put it in your scalp and then you give yourself a really good massage.
Hmm.
And the combination of the oil and the massage stimulates hair growth. And if I were to show you, which you're not going to be able to see, I have these little baby hairs growing in my little bald spot.
So you found that it's helpful?
Yeah, I just need to be consistent with it, which I'm not.
Really?
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
It does. If you don't love rosemary, it does smell like rosemary, and it takes like two. I normally I only do one round of shampoo when I put
Oh, but
this
it
oil
takes
in.
two.
Two, yeah,
Does it make your hair greasy? Like if you put it on and then went about your day and went to the store and stuff, is it a little greasy?
it is a little bit greasy,
Okay. So
but
maybe sleep on it and get a new pillowcase the next day?
or just put some like get a an old pillowcase and then use that when you
Yeah.
put the oil on. I
Yeah.
would say this bottle, it was when I bought it, it was $11, but
That's not terrible.
it can last for a few months
Is
because
the
you don't need a lot.
rosemary the active ingredient? Sorry, I cut you off.
Yes, yes. There's actually a
Really?
lot of, I was reading the label. I can't read it without my glasses, but there's a lot of natural ingredients in there. And you just need to massage your scalp. If you have split ends, you can massage the end, but you don't need to massage it all the way through. You just massage your scalp, and that should stimulate or help stimulate in conjunction with good eating hair growth.
Hmm.
This
Wonder if
this
it would help my
particular
scalp.
this particular brand also has biotin in it. So biotin's good for hair growth.
What is biotin?
It's a vitamin that helps
Okay.
promote nail and hair growth. And
Hmm.
I think it's like a B complex type of a vitamin. And
Okay.
if you're losing a lot of hair, I take a biotin supplement, but
You don't
and
look like you're losing any hair, by the way. It's so full and voluptuous.
it used to be 3 times what it is right now.
Really?
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, so
Anyway, so
maybe I should start it now so that I don't.
yeah, it can't hurt. It's all good ingredients and it's been touted, and I'm sure you can find other brands. Just make sure
Okay.
that it's just basically rosemary. I think the rosemary and the mint together is like good. It activates each other.
Does it
So
tingle a little bit?
no,
Okay. Just
no.
wondered. Okay.
So that's what I
Interesting.
love this
I
week.
love it. Thank you. Very cool. All
Sorry for
right.
being all out of order, but we like to keep everybody on their
We
toes.
definitely do. We definitely do that. So,
Well, have a
all
good week.
right.
We did not
Uh,
even set our call to action.
oh my gosh. I'm keeping my exercise. It's going. I'm gonna still, my goal is 5 times a week. So I'm not setting days, it's just 5 times. That's my super easy call to action. I mean, it's not easy, but I gotta get this down.
Yeah.
How about you?
I am going back to really being mindful of what I'm eating and not eating after 7:30 because I need to get this weight off.
Okay.
All right.
Easy. All
Now
right.
we'll
Now
see
we're
you next
really
week.
done. For real. Bye.
Bye.